What's up, guys? I think I'm live. Trying to get this worked out. So first live stream in like 2 years. It's been a long time since I've done a live stream. And not only is this a live stream, but it's a live show. So I think I got maybe one person in here right now, but happy to have you. And there's a little lag on my side, so I'm just trying to get used to the system. I'm sure gonna mess it up, guys. Just bear with me. So today's live stream is about just overcoming obstacles, the obstacles that pretty much everyone has to runs up against when you first start jiu-jitsu. So today is White Belt Wednesday, but I'm sure we're probably going to have some other belts on here, so I'm not going to be too strict just yet. I'm gonna try to wait for some of the people to join the chat. But basically, the idea I got this idea from Reddit. You know, Reddit has a really cool like White Belt Wednesday kind of thing where instead of white belts posting all these, they get a lot of new people starting out on Reddit asking crazy questions. So instead of having that like super disorganized, they just made it one day where the white belts just go in and ask those questions about whatever they want to ask. And I kind of got that idea from them. They had that white belt Wednesday, and then I think a week or two ago, I was talking to a white belt new guy, just started, older guy, maybe 40s, mid 40s, I believe, and you know, and I could just see the guy. He was kind of sitting out of rolling, so I was on the side, so I saw the guy. I was like, hey, we started talking a little bit, and then we just I'm not his instructor. I'm just, black belt training in the same class as him. And I think that helped him feel more comfortable in asking questions because sometimes I think for new people, you're kind of nervous. You're kind of afraid of your instructor. You don't want to come off as like a doofus or, you don't want to look like a beginner pretty much. That's why I've seen a lot of white belts who they seem kind of scared. So it often helps when a higher belt kind of reaches out to them, and then that kind of opens up the like a dialogue. So I'm not gonna monologue too long, guys. I hate when people do that, so I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna drop the Zoom link into the chat here, and if you guys want to join, I'm gonna try to get to as many people as I can. If you have any questions, again, it's like obstacles that maybe you're enduring right now, or maybe obstacles that you've overcome. So I'm gonna drop that link, the Zoom link, guys, in the chat, and if you want to join, just click on that link. So some things doing a live stream, man, it is laggy. It is super laggy. I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be like real time, but it's a little laggy. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. Let these guys jump on the link if they want to jump on there. I know some people might be shy. I'm a little nervous doing this too myself, but I'm really excited to try something different. I haven't really seen anybody do something like this. So, me, I always want to be the first one to do it. And then my idea is, maybe do a live stream like this maybe once a week. Maybe it won't just be the White Belt Wednesday, but I would like to cover some other topics. And then, I'm going to be bad for about 6 months. Give me about 6 months, guys. And then hopefully after 6 months, it's like more professional and runs a little bit smoother than right now. So let's see if somebody jumps in that jumps on the Zoom. A little multitasking, guys. Awesome. Got a guy on there. Yeah, man. Jump on in. Again, white belts. Man, no, white belts are the lifeblood of your academy. And as an instructor, we need white belts coming into the school because honestly, like that's like the measure of a good school, a healthy school is there should be like new people coming in, excited to learn because that's, people are the most excited about jujitsu when they first start, that those first 6 months, first two to 6 months, they're going to be, man, they're going to be addicted to jujitsu. And so a lot of times I tell people, hey, before people want to start jujitsu, I go, hey, it's a little addictive, you're gonna like you're gonna start buying gis, buying these expensive showy roll gis. You're gonna start saying Brazilian words that you don't understand, stuff like that. You're gonna start eating acai. Yeah, you're gonna be doing crazy stuff like that. So, um, I think especially as a higher belt, anything we can do to help people get through that, those hurdles starting out is super important. If you see someone struggling, you see a new person struggling, with shrimping or how to tie their belt or how to do a forward roll, don't be shy, help those guys. Don't even wait on those guys that approach you. You just see them and then just help them because I automatically assume white belts don't know anything, and I see them, I go right over to them, and I just automatically try and help them out, even if they don't need that help or ask for that help. And often, white belts, I'm teaching. Usually, the white belts are the most coachable. They listen. They're going to listen and try the techniques a little bit more than some of the higher belts. To be honest, some of these blue belts, purple belts, brown belts, like man, I want to help them, but then like they're like, I don't need your help, or they're over there trying something different, or they're trying to teach their own techniques. So often it's the white belts that are trying the technique, asking questions about the move and actually practicing the move. So if you guys just joined in, first live stream, a little rough around the edges, guys, but stick with me. Got the Zoom link in the chat. If you want to join the Zoom, I'm going to try to talk to as many people as I can. Hopefully we hit about like an hour 30 minutes. That's like a good time limit for me. And I'm actually kind of excited to be interacting with you guys. I'm so used to like posting content and then, kind of fingers crossed, hope the content does well, hope people respond. But I think it's a cool way to use the technology to actually talk to people. And checking this link, we got one person waiting to join, I think. Let me know if you have any problems. You can just talk to me in the chat and I can see that way. But yeah, White Belt Wednesday, cool name. If you're ever on Reddit, they have our BJJ. It's pretty popular, pretty famous. But on Wednesdays, it's kind of like the day for white belts and new people to ask questions about whatever they want to ask, even if it's something simple or something crazy. People can go on there. You can go on there any day, but usually the Wednesday is probably the best day. And then again, what kind of made me want to do this? I've been meaning to do a live stream show like this. It's taking me forever to get up and running. But I was talking to a white belt in class, and I just noticed that it was easier for them to talk to me than maybe their instructor, just because, I'm not the instructor, but I was a higher belt, someone that they could trust. And I was kind of sitting on the side, and I think I don't know if he talked to me first or I talked to him first, but we were able to talk a little bit about just some of the issues he's had starting out, being an older guy, the conditioning. Conditioning gets everybody because you're not used to the movements, right? Nobody's used to these crazy moves that we do on the ground, like the shrimping and rolling stuff. Nobody's used to that stuff. So we're just talking a little bit about the conditioning and a little bit about the techniques. And I just think having that dialogue with students, is super important for instructors out there. So if you're an instructor or a higher belt, man, go out there and talk to these white belts because those They're the people paying the bills, man. They're the lifeblood of the school. They bring so much energy. You know, when you see white belts after about like a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that first month, man, they're so excited. And it kind of rubs off on you because they're so excited. They're like, yeah, I just, I made it through my first roll, my first 5 minute roll, or I made it through the warm up. They're so excited and because everything's new to them. And so it's kind of cool to be a part of that. So if you guys want to join the chat, Zoom links in the description in the chat there. And then hopefully we get some. Okay, awesome. Okay, Herbert. Herbert, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna add you in here. Multitasking over here, guys. I got the Zoom, got YouTube up.
Hello, you hear me?
Hey, Herbert. Is that how I say your name?
Oh no, it's Hubert.
Hubert.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Man, I'm so used to Portuguese names.
Oh, yeah. This is I don't even know my name. I think it's just American. But yeah. I'm a white belt. I'm 25 years old. I train at a Renzo Gracie Academy.
Okay.
My question for you is, what can I say? I have many questions. Where should I start?
Okay, maybe like your top two questions, I think.
Top two. Okay. How do you get over the feeling of like you feel like you cannot improve, like you're just always getting submitted, you feel like you're not really getting anywhere, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
you're a white belt, you feel like, okay, if you go to blue belt, you still feel like you're shit pretty much, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So how do you get rid of that?
How long have you been training?
I've been training, well, I started like 6 months ago, but the first couple of months, I mean, it was just the most drooling months ever. I was getting submitted left and right. I was actually about to quit, but once I started watching more videos, I actually just I did Taekwondo before, and I learned a lot about perseverance. So I used that while I was just after I got over those months of just me getting submitted, and then I started training much more. I've been going like 4 to 5 times a week, and but I still get this feeling where I'm like, man, it's just it sucks getting submitted by blue belts, even some other white belts. It's just yeah. And then I also have a tournament that I'm going to participate in next week. Actually, it's a new breed tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. You said Renzo Gracie affiliate.
Yeah, Renzo Gracie.
I think those guys are a little bit more old school. So that's kind of how I came up. It was just like, I don't think we had a beginner's class. It was just like first day, just jump in.
There's no, I mean, we have a fundamentals class, but every belt is mixed in with each other.
Okay. Yeah. That can be tough. Usually what I tell people to do is just focus on just pick a position. So just find one position that you feel comfortable in, you feel confident in, and then we just drill that position so much that when you start going against higher belts or more advanced people, because if you can develop one position that you know really well, you could actually be better in that position than like a blue belt or purple belt, which it sounds kind of crazy. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I thought you were going to continue. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like I've been watching videos on like butterfly guard. I mean, I still don't even know what to do. If I get past, but now I just try to. I mean, I hear a lot of people just say, "Look, since you're a white belt, just focus on defense. This is the time where you're gonna build up a lot of defense. So just work on close guard, half guard, Don't work on anything crazy. Just work on your fundamentals and just build from there and just get mat time pretty much.
What kind of style does your instructor have?
What what do you mean by style?
Uh, how would you characterize like the moves that he uses? Does he have? Do you guys have like a particular style from your gym, or you guys kind of learn a lot of different things?
A lot of different things.
Mm,
Yeah, it's I can't even pinpoint like what style we do, but it's just a whole lot of different things. I mean, I go to the fundamentals class and we just drill mainly just easy to do moves. But we don't
hmm.
have an advanced class. We have like competition classes and masters classes and yeah, but we don't really drill anything too hard. And depending on the I guess on Saturdays we do, but mainly just fundamentals and just like easy to do stuff, you know.
I think this is more an issue. I know you're struggling with it, but I've seen this happen a lot. I think this is more an issue of the academies and how they're organized and how they teach techniques. Because like when I used to teach a lot more, like we would almost systemize it so that a white belt coming in, like okay, I would tell them immediately, okay, you're working closed guard for 6 months. Like you don't have a choice. You're gonna be working closed guard. And so like we would get to a point to where you like say I took you and I made you work closed guard for 6 months. I assure you, you probably would be better than most blue belts at closed guard. So you might get your
Wow.
butt you might get your butt kicked in any other guard, like a half guard or something else. But we would get you to the point that when you got the closed guard, like you knew exactly what to do. You knew your attacks. You knew your defenses. And I think.
Yeah, that's that. I get what you mean. I feel like I'm kind of freestyling it. You know,
Mm-hmm,
I mean, we would learn different techniques, but I still don't even know what to do in a butterfly guard. I just looked up like people that I just look up like ADCC trials, and I
mm-hmm.
see a lot of people are in butterfly guards. I'm like, all right, let me just take a research on that, and when I'm in no gi, I'll just do that. But I'm like, I'm getting swept all the time. I guess I just need to put more mat time or something. Um, I
I,
mean,
again, I again,
I
I think
practice
it's
other guards. Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
again, I think it's the schools. So one thing I noticed with the best schools, they have a style. So think of Art of Jiu-Jitsu, AOJ,
Yeah, I've heard of them.
they have a style. And so what they do, they get these really talented kids, but what they do is, the kids probably had their own style that's really good. And then they go, okay, you're not going to do that. Okay, you're not, whatever you were doing before, you don't do that no more. You're going to do exactly what we do. You're going to do berimbolo. You're going to do long step passing.
Wow.
But it's not just them. It's the same for all the major schools. The same thing for Autos, Marcelo Garcia's, all these schools. That's what I meant by a style. So kind of like the techniques they like to use, and you see their lower belts using. And
But the thing about it, like the best like jujitsu practitioners come from those schools that are like academies. I mean, that have affiliates such as Renzo Gracie. So,
I mean, Henzo,
uh,
even Henzo, he's a Gracie. So the
yeah,
Gracies have a style. You can look back at like the Henzo. He didn't really compete that much in the gi, but he did more MMA, right?
yeah,
But look at his MMA game. It was very Gracie. If you saw him fighting and you looked at his brother or cousins, whoever, they're gonna look kind of similar, right?
yeah,
And so that's what I mean by having a style. And then of course you're gonna be struggling because your instructors are probably showing you 10 different moves, and then like next week another 10 different moves, and the next week. So it's
yeah.
almost impossible for you to organize that. So that goes back on the instructor to have an organized game that they teach to you. And so it's kind of tough.
So, what do you recommend as a white belt in that situation that is going through that?
There's a few approaches depending on your instructor. If your instructor is cool, maybe they could come up with a game plan for you. So maybe you could ask them, or maybe set up a private lesson with your instructor and kind of just tell them how your feelings right now. That's
Mm.
one approach. Another approach is you can do like maybe an online program. I know my buddy John Thomas does like online instruction, kind of like a supplement to uh other people's training.
Yeah.
And I used to train with John a lot, and I can tell you that there's a system uh that John would show. I don't know if you know who John Thomas is. He's pretty big on YouTube.
No.
You check him out after this. He's super technical guy, super popular on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much what he would do is just, man, he had a system. So for him, white belts would learn close guard, 6 months to a year, and then after that it would be like spider guard, everything from spider guard.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how you were kind of measured. That's how, like, okay, how good is your spider guard? And then so like, if people were wondering if they were close to blue belt, we would be like, okay, let's see your spider guard. What techniques are you doing? Are you able to do these in a competition? Are you able to hit these moves on higher belts?
Mm-hmm.
But everything was geared towards your spider guard. And so that's like, your progress was measured in how your spider guard worked against other people. And then I think that's another method you can use. It's a little bit tough because not everybody likes to learn online.
Yeah.
That's off the top of my head. Those are the two options I can think of. But I think first, always talk to your instructors, guys. Not just you, Hubert. Talk to your instructors, and then kind of pick their brain, especially if you're closer to the instructor. That works really well, and then go from there.
Right. Okay. And I have my last question. I know it was like multiple questions into one, but I don't know if I can ask one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so since I think I'm pretty old when I'm 25 and I
Oh,
started.
wait. Man, that's young, man. You're
Oh,
young.
really? No, because
25 is young.
look, if you see all the guys that have been, the world champions. I mean, the people that are winning these tourneys, these people started when they were in their teens.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know, do you think there's any chance where somebody can compete up to that level when they're in the 20s? They start in their 20s, and they're moving up in their 30s, maybe.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly where I saw this statistic, but I think the average age of people starting jiu-jitsu is like 28, and so most people starting jiu-jitsu are older. They're not, we have like some young people, either they start when they're kids, or they're gonna be like late 20s, and then
okay.
And a great example of starting late in life is I don't know if you know who Cobrinha is.
No.
Do you know who Isaac Doderline is? Kennedy Maciel?
No, I don't know too many jiu-jitsu practitioners.
Anyway, he's got a big school, multiple time world champion. And he didn't start jiu-jitsu until he was 20 years old. And then he ended up winning his first world championship at 26. So he started at 20, and then 26 was a black belt competing at the highest level.
Wow.
He did have a background in capoeira for many years, so that helped him with flexibility.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But man, it's possible. It's possible. It's not easy. It's gotten harder because we have more young people, starting that little kids class that kept training, and of course they're going to be, they're going to be beasts like your Mika Gavons, your Andy Murasakis. Those guys, don't compare yourself to those guys because they got almost like 20 years of experience. So
right.
Even Mikey Musumeci, he started when he was very young.
Yeah, guy's a monster.
But also, there's masters divisions. There's masters up until 30. Or after 30, you have masters division. So you're going to be competing against people same experience level as yourself. So I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about starting late. So I think now, like, man, there's so much. We have so many more resources. You have like YouTube. You can read YouTube anything. You got Flow Grappling. You can watch every match. You got the internet. You can talk to your world champions. So I think that can kind of help level the playing field. And then I think at the end of the day, jiu-jitsu is very a technical art form,
Hmm.
So man, if your technique's good, like if you really focus into those details of the techniques, man, you can really you can do well.
Mm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right. Um, wow, that answers everything. Thank you for taking me in. I really appreciate the answers.
No
And
problem, man. I hope they helped a
you
little bit.
answering it. Yeah, it helped a lot. Especially the system that woke me up. I was like, wow, man, like I just don't know what, like I don't know what I should do in this upcoming tournament that I have next week. Like, should I just play in a, I don't even know. I know all these guards, but I don't know what to focus on. But I noticed that I have a pretty good close guard, so I may as well just focus on building a close guard until I even get to blue belt. So, and then
Hmm.
focus on something else. So that's
Uh, a lot of
really
these,
helpful.
a lot of those tournaments, especially for white belts, you're going to be in closed guard. So learn. I'm serious. I think I did. I went to Pans a few months ago, man. Closed guard in all the white belt divisions. So just have some options on how to pass closed guard to side mount. Get the side mount or mount whatever, and also have some
Mhm.
options for on bottom. How to get to your closed guard, some attacks. Some triangles, maybe some cross choke variations.
Mhm.
This is a great question for your instructor. Talk to your instructor.
Yeah,
Try to come up with a game plan because that's their job, right? They're supposed to help
right,
you with that kind of stuff.
right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Alec. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. That was awesome. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. Got my boy Charles. Charles, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Uh, Charles says some school styles is the syringe, syringe, syringe. So if you guys know what that means, you know what it means. I've done a video on the acai or the Pocari sweat. If you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, man, some of these schools they got some good supplements, man. If you watch some of these guys, you see some of the kids like lifting like insane amount of weight. You're like, how they lifting all this weight? Like 19 years old, like lifting like almost like powerlifting and training like 3 times a day. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy out there. Charles, you want to join the Zoom? I don't know if Charles is still in here, but if he wants to join, we'd let him join. Robert. Yeah, unmute yourself, Robert.
Hey man, can you hear me?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, good. First of all, I really enjoy your content. So thank you for putting stuff out like this so guys like me can learn jujitsu.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I like I said, I hadn't seen anybody really do anything like this, so I was like, hey, I want to do it.
There you go. So I'm a career blue belt, feels like at this point. I got my RCJ Machado blue belt in 2013. If you can see my picture, I enlisted and then I've been traveling. So I haven't really had an opportunity to stay at a school for longer than a year or two.
Okay.
S- um, I don't know or when do you feel like you're ready for the next phase? Like I really want to belt. I felt like I've had this belt for so long at this point. Um, when do you feel like you are there?
When do you feel that you're at the next belt level?
Yeah.
I'm That's a tough one. I recently had a friend of mine. He just got his purple belt, and uh he was kind of questioning the belt. And honestly, I feel that more people need to have faith in their instructors. When the instructor is ready for you. I know your case is a little bit different, but usually when the instructor's ready, that's when you're ready. It's kind of hard to gauge when you're ready. I guess you should be feeling more confident in your roles against higher belts. Maybe you're competing a little bit, you're placing. I guess that's like a tangible way to measure how you're progressing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in your opinion, what's the difference between a purple belt and a blue belt, other than just like one's better than the other?
I think I mean blue belts, pretty much a beginner belt. It's the first belt, and hopefully at that point they've got some of the basics down. They kind of know what to do. You're not too worried about them as far as like, I don't need to hold their hand when they're doing the techniques. And I think at purple belt, it's when you kind of, I say like at purple belt, people get their swag. They kind of like, they're confident, they're moving really well, a little cocky. You got to be a little cocky at purple belt. And then that's when I believe at purple belt you start. You're technical. You have technique, and you're kind of like you can start attacking. You can start like your things are kind of coming together. They're kind of putting things together. They're not as sometimes blue belts kind of hesitate or a little too wild. Blue belts can be all over the place, but purple belts kind of the technique's getting solidified. They're making very technical decisions when they're rolling. That's basically what I'm looking for. If they're using a technique, I can understand what they're trying to do, and they have some confidence in what they're doing, and they're not as reckless as when they were blue belts. You're not as crazy, a little bit more controlled, and you kind of see this in tournaments. Usually, purple belts like the most exciting. They're the most exciting fighters. I don't know if you've ever noticed that before.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And like I said, I've had this belt for so long.
It's been a bit.
Yeah, and I have a good idea of what game I like. I'm a X guard guy, and I've got pretty good side control pressure, and I have a baseball bat choke, and I'm just trying to be well rounded at this point and consistent. I would love to stay at a place for longer. But I appreciate your time. I'm sure there's other people. Thank you again for doing stuff like this.
One thing I will say is, where are you training at now? Are you like kind of?
So my instructor, he was with Yamasaki for like 20 years, and he recently became unaffiliated. So right now we're just kind of doing our own thing.
Yeah. That's one downside of jiu-jitsu. It's always like the affiliation stuff is like a whole nother element. So sometimes like you might be at the next level, but maybe an instance like that situation occurs, and then like your instructor can't give you the belt now because he's not in the or IBJF, or it won't be recognized or something like that. So sometimes like it's not even about you. Sometimes like in the background, like stuff is going on in the background where the guy can't give you the belt. So it's usually it's not that cut and dry. Have you talked to your instructor any?
No.
No.
I know it's really subjective, and we just started training back here in DC. I don't know when they like allowed that sort of stuff, but it's only been a couple months since our school's been back open because of COVID. And they don't do stripes, so you're just that belt until one day when you're not.
I think man, go compete. Have you competed at any at blue belt?
Yeah, not since COVID. But I haven't. It's been a couple years just with doing my army thing.
I would try to make that happen. Again, if you're winning these tournaments at blue belt, it's like it gets to a point to where people are like, all right, we got to get this guy out of this belt.
That's a good point. I appreciate your time, man. Have a good night.
Thank you. Yeah, Hubert, John Thomas, guys, check out John. Super popular on Instagram, on YouTube. Very, very technical instructor. If you're looking for like super analytical jiu-jitsu, man, that's your guy. And you'll see that with John. He's got a very structured game. I can tell you spider guard, and then from spider guard, he's got collar sleeve. From collar sleeve, he's got all these other guards built around his spider guard game. I know he likes to post a lot of Matrix stuff. So if you guys want to watch his Instagram, he's got some cool Matrix back takes from like Plata, from like everywhere. Some other good guys. There's a few good guys coming up. There's Tariq. If you guys know what the Tariq Plata is, that's Tariq. He's got a great YouTube channel. He posts a lot of good content. He's very consistent. That's something I noticed, man. When guys post like 1 or 2 videos and they drop off versus the guys that are very consistent, and that's how you build your branding. Tariq, you got Adam or Aaron. Is it Adam or Aaron? Let me check real fast. I'm not the best with names. Yeah, I don't see him on there. Some other good guys. John Carlo out of I guess he's in Austin, Texas. He's a really good guy. Black belt under Lucas Lepre. Has some really good content. And then what's the other kid? I think it's Aaron. I can't remember his name right now. Sorry, buddy. If you guys on BJJ Fanatics Fanatics group, he posts a lot. Let me see if he comes up. I'm trying to think of some other guys that post good content that I follow. Guys, if you want to join the Zoom, just click on the link. I think I got time for maybe 1 or 2 more. If you guys, I'll open up the chat. I'll open up the forum for other belts. If you guys, if you're blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, black belt, we can have you on the Zoom too. So we've been talking about overcoming some common obstacles, especially for white belts. You know, starting out, a lot of obstacles in jiu-jitsu. I think cardio is the first obstacle. Recently, I was talking to a white belt. He said grip. He asked me about what to do about grip training. So I was helped him out a little bit with grip training. Technique, as a white belt, technique. You're always going to have questions about technique. That's the way it's going to be forever. Some other questions, obstacles, flexibility. That's something I saw very recently, dealing with flexibility. I was in class with Jeff Cummings, and he was showing like a Berimbolo. But we had a few people that had trouble with that Granby roll, you know, when you invert. That was kind of tough for even like some of the blue and purple belts. So, you know, that's flexibility, guys. It really, really helps your guard. So if your guard's kind of bad, usually it's like maybe some flexibility issue going on, usually in the hips. That's where I'm tied at. Some other obstacles. I think, you know, getting crushed. That's a big obstacle, getting crushed, dealing with that personal space or lack of personal space. That's a big one. I'm trying to think of some other obstacles. If you guys in the chat, let me know some of the obstacles that white belts have to deal with, or any belts really. I kind of like this. I can interact with you guys. Like, hey, type in the chat for me. Let's see. James Arnold says, people are saying I'm close to my blue belt, but I'm not wanting to become a blue belt, I guess, because I haven't done a comp yet. Should I ask my coach about this? When in doubt, go compete. That's my motto. Go compete. Because, man, when you go and compete and you tear up the competition scene, man, there's no doubt about your technique, because you're fighting people at your skill level, your belt rank, your age group, and your weight class. That's as fair as it's going to be. So I think you should go compete, let the results speak for themselves. And then that's also a great way. That's great feedback for yourself of what you need to work on. You know, I always learn a ton of things from competing. And yeah, of course, your instructor's going to see you. If your instructor sees you on the podium, constantly on the podium, man, he's going to be like, okay, let me get this guy the next belt. And also, I believe that's a part of jiu-jitsu, is about competing. And I think everybody gets nervous before they go and compete, but once you get out there, then like, oh, and it's done. It's like, oh, what happened? It was over already. So yeah, man, go and compete, James. Anybody else want to join the Zoom link? Just let me know. I think got time for maybe one more. I'm trying to do the screen share, but that's I don't think I'm doing it. Oh, I forgot to record, guys. Forgot to record on here. Hopefully it saves somewhere. It's kind of hard multitask. I got like the Zoom link and I got the YouTube. Yeah, if you guys want to join the Zoom link, it's up at the top. I think I got time for one more kind of one little chat. So again, we've been talking about white belts, white belt Wednesday. But we got more. I think we have more blue belts on than white belts. So where are my white belts at, guys? I guess white belts had to go to sleep. It's a little late. So yeah, a great resource for you guys outside of myself is Reddit. On Reddit, they or BJJ, they have a White Belt Wednesday. So a great time. If you guys have any questions, that's a great place to go and ask those questions. And you know, there might be some trolls on there. Not gonna lie, might get trolled a little bit. I get trolled. Everybody gets trolled. But you do get some good feedback every now and again. Can be a little biased on Reddit, so you know, take it with a grain of salt. Let's see. James says, my worry is that I will get promoted before I compete. Should I ask to not get promoted before my competition in January? Yeah. James, compete at white belt first before competing at blue belt. You're gonna feel terrible competing as a blue belt for the first time. Also, you know, when you're white belt, man, there's no pressure on you. So if you lose, it's like, oh, it's okay. I'm a white belt. You know, you could just play it off. So it's not that big of an issue. So yeah, definitely compete as a white belt. Tell your instructor, hey, I really want to do this tournament as a white belt first. Get some experience first, because you don't want to be a blue belt competing for the first time. It depends. If you're doing adult, you might be fighting like, you know, Cole Abbott or, you know, some other phenom that you don't know about. Been training since, you know, 3 years old. So compete at white belt first. Please compete at white belt first. It's going to be way better. I'm struggling, guys. I forgot to record the Zoom. I think it automatically records. I think. Oh no, it doesn't. Yeah, first live stream. Of course, I kind of if you watched earlier, I was like, I would have messed it up somehow. That's how I messed it up. But learning experience, right? Again, guys, if you want to join the Zoom chat, I have time for one more. I want to try to get one more in. I think it'll be really great to get in. And we've been talking about some of the just common obstacles white belts have to go through. A lot of obstacles. I think, you know, cardio, conditioning, grip strength, flexibility, remembering techniques, rolling for the first time and not knowing what to do, dealing with crazy people. That's a tough one. Dealing with crazy people as a white belt. You know, when in doubt, man, just talk to your instructor. whenever the higher belts beat you up, go to your instructor and he'll take care of them for you. Maldo says, he says the video should save the YouTube and you can download. Okay, hopefully YouTube saves it for me. I pray it saves it for me. We got Luis. I hope I'm saying your name right. Valdez. He says thoughts about switching academy because a new academy has a schedule that works better for me. This one can be kind of tough. You know, I'm old school where you couldn't leave your school for nothing. You know, if the schedule works better for you and allows you to train more, I think it might be the best option for you at this point in your life. But please talk to your instructors first. Don't just don't just dip on your instructor and then, your instructor sees you on Instagram at the other school's photo, in the other school's photo. So, most instructors are very understanding. They're going to understand that, that's, if they're a good an adult, they're going to be able to understand that, hey, you need to do what's best for you. Some instructors might not take it that well. In that case, prepare yourself, but just let them know beforehand that that's going to be better for you. That's they have a better schedule. Maybe your instructor might change the schedule because you're like, oh, this schedule works better for me. So yeah, try to talk to your instructor first, see if they can change the schedule, or if not, just tell them, hey, this is going to work better for me. But try to leave on the best terms that you can. It's going to be better for the long run, Again, guys, I got time for one more Zoom chat. So if anybody wants to jump in there, I'm going to open it up for all the other belts as well. If you have any questions, or that's the best time. Jump on, guys. You got me here. Let's jump on. Again, I was talking to a white belt in class the other week, and that's what made me want to do this, because I thought, hey, sometimes people have trouble talking to their instructors. Some instructors are kind of scary, kind of mean. You don't want to talk to them or ask them about anything. I understand that. So I just thought that, hey, online is kind of cool. I've seen other kind of industries doing like these live streams where you can do like a live chat, live talk, call-in style. So I just thought it would be kind of cool. It's been kind of interesting for me just interacting with you guys, because I might never have the chance to interact with you, right? So this is cool use of the technology to talk to you guys and get feedback from you guys and help you guys somehow. I'm looking to do I think on Friday I'm doing a Instagram live with my boy Jeff Cummings. If you guys want to check that out, I'll try and post the link or something to it later. It's going to be on this Friday, and we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of being a full-time jiu-jitsu instructor. So it's going to be good. I had to talk to Jeff beforehand and be like, hey, we can't talk about this topic, that topic, or that topic, because they're going to kick us off Instagram. So it should be pretty cool. If you guys have seen some of my videos, Jeff Cummings, he's in a lot of them, and man, he's funny. He's super funny. I'd be dying laughing with Jeff, just filming the instructionals and hanging out with him. So I think you guys will like that. Let's see. Got time for one more, guys. Waiting for one more person to step up, join the Zoom chat. I think everybody's nervous. So again, we're gonna have that Instagram live on Friday. We're gonna do it in the afternoon, so I think a lot of people might miss it, but I'll make sure we record it, and should be a good one. It's gonna be funny, man. Like I said, I had to tell Jeff, like, we can't talk about some of these topics, bro, because they're not ready for it, and we don't want to trigger too many people, trigger some of our old instructors or people we know. Let me check the Zoom link, bro. I'm over here multitasking. Loshi Original says, yeah, it's not the higher belts that beat me up. I don't need to tell the coach. Jeff, it's the other white belts that go too hard. Yeah, man, to be honest, man, some white belts usually are the most dangerous people on the mats, because I train a lot and I don't know what to expect from a white belt. It could be anything. Could be anything. And that's where the danger comes from, because you don't know what they're doing and they don't know what they're doing. And then, like, bro, that's when people get injured. When I watch white belts train, I try to keep a close eye on them, especially a new guy coming off the street. We don't know who this guy is or what he's been doing. So just be careful. If you ever feel uncomfortable with, in that situation, just tell the person, hey, man, I'm going to sit out this role. I do it all the time. Hey, you kind of crazy. I don't say that part, but I say, hey, I'm going to sit out this role. And that seems to work pretty well. I would say I haven't been injured in a while, but I did get injured training with the black belt, so I can't say too much. But usually, I've been pretty safe using that method. If I see, big 300-pound white belt guy. That happened pretty recently. Like this 300-pound kid, he's a white belt, super tall. He was like, "Hey, you want to roll?" I was like, "Oh man, no man, I'm sitting out. I gotta sit out this one, man. It ain't worth it, bro. It ain't worth it." Guys, got time for one more chat. I'm trying to get one more guy in or one more person in this Zoom chat. So there's links at the top of the chat room. You guys want to join it? I'll post it one more time. Try to get one more person in here before I gotta dip. Let's see. Hubert says, "What do you think about training in Brazil for some time?" Man, go for it. I did a podcast with Ryan Ford. You guys know Ryan Ford with the BJJ Fanatics podcast series, and he's living in Brazil. So, man, guys, if you really want to experience some real jiu-jitsu, go to Brazil, take in the sights. You know, Rio, Sao Paulo. You know, great academies in Brazil. You know, there's so much stuff to do in Brazil. You know, you can go surfing, go to the beach, and go all these different places. Go to the Amazon if you want to somehow. I think you know, if you really want to experience jiu-jitsu, really want to understand the vibe of jiu-jitsu, you should go to Brazil, experience the culture. That's also part of doing jiu-jitsu. You learn about Brazilian culture. You learn about, you know, you learn a little bit of Portuguese. You know, you learn how to say porra and eat acai. Delve into the culture. So I'd say, yeah, go to Brazil. Portugal is also a good place to go to. You know, Brazilian Portuguese. Yeah, that's one of the best parts of jiu-jitsu is traveling, because when you go and travel, you already have this network of people that are going to take care of you just from doing jiu-jitsu. When you go, you know, find a nice academy, man, they're going to be like, "Oh, where are you from? You from America?" or wherever you're from, and they're going to take care of you. So yeah, go for it. Luis Valdez says, "Yep, that's true. My first injury was to my knee from a big ex-football player who pretty much crushed my knee on his first day of class." Yeah. Man, you got to be careful. I'm not sure what your size is, but yeah, be careful. Man, big guys roll differently than small guys. That's something you have to understand. You might not understand as a white belt starting out on day one, but by day 2 and 3, you should understand that big guy, leave that big guy alone. And that's why we put the big guys with the big guys and the small guys with the small guys. But yeah, if you ever feel uncomfortable, you got that big 300-pound guy coming over looking at you, be like, "Hey, I'm gonna sit out this roll. I'm not gonna roll with you." It's better just say you're gonna sit. Just tell them you're gonna sit out. It's gonna be easier. It's gonna be better for your body, and you won't get crushed as badly. Hubert says, "Get a Brazilian wife." Oh man, oh, hey, listen, that's for a different live stream. You go to Brazil, get a Brazilian wife. Yeah, it's possible, man. I don't know anything about that. So you have to go let me know what that's about. If I go to Brazil, it's just to train. So, guys, got time for one more Zoom chat. I'm waiting for one person to step up. We've had some good talks already. So, again, we've been talking about the common obstacles that white belts deal with. We've had some good ones in the chat room. So, I think, yeah, I think we've helped some people out. You know, we talked about Brazil, also in South America. We talked on my, if you check out my podcast, I've also talked to Carlos in Colombia. You guys want to go to Colombia? He's got a really great jiu-jitsu academy. I think it's called Affinity. I could be wrong. But yeah, another great place, great option, great jiu-jitsu. Ecuador, you know, some of your world champions are from Ecuador. Some of your most popular guys like Roberto Jimenez, he's from Ecuador. So there's other great places for jiu-jitsu. So if you go down, you know, make a trip of it. Go to Brazil, maybe go to Colombia, Ecuador, other places too. All right, guys, let's try and get one more person on the on the Zoom chat. Come on, guys. Everybody's going to bed. I got about 20 more minutes, so we'll try and get one more person on the Zoom link. But overall, I'm really happy about the turnout, man. I was kind of worried before I did the live stream. I was kind of trying to fix everything up, but also I was kind of worried. I was like, man, what if nobody joins in? I'm gonna be here talking to myself. Which I'm sure some people, they love doing. They love talking to themselves or about themselves. But again, got time for one more person. Come on, somebody step up. And it's not just for white belts. I open it up for the other belts too. While we wait, I'm gonna try to find that other guy, the other kid I talked about. That's really good social media presence for you guys to check out. What's that kid's name? I feel pretty bad because I met him before. So John Thomas, we talked about John Thomas, great YouTube channel. John Carlo, he's got a great YouTube channel and recently moved out to Austin, Texas. So if you guys are in Austin, go train with him. He's a great instructor, super tough kid. You're gonna see him doing it really well. What's this kid's name? Man, I feel so bad. I can't remember the kid's name. Dominique Bell's really good. He's got a good, very good channel. Very, man, he's got some really good techniques. And I see that he's been using a lot more judo. So if you guys are interested in that more judo, check out Dominique Bell. I'm trying to find some of the guys that are really good that aren't super popular. Aaron Benzerim. I can't say his last name. Cannot say his last name. I'll type it in the chat for you guys though. He's really good. I think he works for BJJ Fanatics, so he's you don't really hear about him too much, but he's super technical. All right, I just typed him in the chat. He's got a lot of good instructionals and posts a lot on YouTube. Some other guys that post on YouTube. I talked about Tariq. I'll type his name in there too for you guys. Tariq Espen, one of the Norwegians. He posts a lot of good videos online that are super technical. So if you're into bolos, I think he just put out a bolo video. If you guys checked it out, let me know if it's any good. I'm sure it's good. But if you checked it out, just let me know you checked it out in the chat. Again, we got about 15 minutes, guys. Trying to get one more person. One more person on the Zoom link here. And again, on Friday, not Saturday, Friday afternoon, I'm going to have Jeff Cummings on Instagram Live. So that one's going to be pretty lit. I'm excited for that one. Like I said, I had to tell Jeff, hey, man, we can't talk about everything on there. But we're going to be focusing mostly on full-time jiu-jitsu, how, the pros and cons of being a full-time jiu-jitsu instructor. And I think it'll be kind of cool. I think a lot of people are going to be interested in that topic because it's kind of cool to, pick someone's brain that's actually lived that life or living that life. So if anybody has any more questions, still waiting on some. 15 minutes, guys. Trying to do 15 more minutes before I got to call it a night. If anybody wants to join that Zoom link, go ahead and click on it. And if you guys would like to see another live stream, let me know in the group chat here. I think So we did White Belt Wednesday. I think I might try next week with like a different topic that will bring in some more people. But overall, I'm pretty happy, man. Like I said, I was like at the beginning, I was like, man, I don't know if anybody's gonna join in, but we had some good conversations and the good feedback from you guys. So man, thanks for the support so far. It's been great. Um, I think it's a cool. I was really excited to try this format just because I usually I just post my content and then I don't really get a chance to interact with you guys outside of like the comment section. So once I post my videos, I interact with you guys in the comments, but that's usually it. Or you see me, at a tournament or in training somehow. So I would like to maybe once a week right now, once a week, do like a call-in show like this. And then I think it's going to help a lot of people. So yeah, we're still waiting. About 15 minutes, guys. Hubert says he's found my channel. I found your channel from YouTube Reels. Yeah. So I used to post a lot of instructionals, like, man, for like 2 or 3 years straight. Instructional. And then I think this year I filmed the instructional video, the not keeping the guard, bridging gi to the no gi. And so I worked on that. And then I burned myself out on instructional video. So I stopped filming any instructionals. And then I started doing, I think over the summer, I started like the spring, summer, I started doing like more podcasts, like talking interview podcast style. And then I think I just kind of got tired of talking and editing because, I would do instructional videos. It'd be like 20 minutes long and then like, nobody's watching it. And I had to edit that thing. So with the reels, it was kind of easy for me to just like, I don't have to talk. I just do the technique and then make it look cool. It's actually easier for the, other instructors like Jeff Cummings and, have cousin Tony on my videos too. It was almost easier for those guys just to do the movements versus talking. Because a lot of times people are kind of nervous to talk, especially when they're on camera. They're kind of nervous. So it's just easy. It was easy for me to get my phone. I get my phone like this, film the reel real quick, and then it was easy to edit. So yeah, I've been really surprised at how the reels have taken off. I think my channel's grown a lot just from doing the reels. So man, that's awesome to hear that's how you found me, from the reels. And I think that's why it's important to stay up to date with like the platforms. The platforms are always changing their content and the format of their content. So I think for instructors, we have to keep adapting to the technology and stay up to date. So I think live streams like this are going to be more popular. I think I could be wrong, but I think they're going to be more popular I think if the instructor or whoever's, I'm going to say instructor, if the instructors are more outgoing, they're going to do well. But they were like super, introverted. I don't think they're going to be doing live streams like this. I don't see the Meow Brothers doing live streams like this, but I could be wrong. I do think they're on Twitch, but I don't think they're going to be doing stuff like this. But we'll see. But also, when you're teaching, I don't teach a lot, so I have more energy to do stuff like this. But say I was teaching full time, I don't think I could do this too, because you got to do it for your students in in the real world, and then like come online and then deal with people online. I think would be too much to ask for. So guys, got like 10 more minutes. We'll see. 10 more minutes. I'll try to get one more person on the live chat, the live Zoom chat here. I think it's past everybody's bedtime. They're ready to go to sleep. I don't blame you guys. If you guys think this is a good time, I did like 10 because I wanted it to be like after training, maybe, but it's during the week. Yeah, I didn't think about that. After training, where you kind of wind down a little bit and give you some time to eat food, say you get done 8, 9, get some food. Okay. Jump on the live stream. But I can maybe do earlier. If you guys have any feedback for me on the time, go ahead and leave it in the chat room. Let's see some other, man, there's not a lot of guys posting content. I'm trying to find some guys for you guys to check out. Hubert says, so you do judo and jiu-jitsu. What's your rank in both? So I don't do judo. If you look at the comments in my judo video, it's like, God, it's terrible. But I don't do any judo. I have trained just from training jiu-jitsu, we learned some of the judo movements. Just coming up, we had like a belt test, blue belt test. We had to learn throws, so a few hip throws and leg trips. And so just part of our curriculum, we had to learn some judo moves, and in our warm-ups, we would do like judo throws. So that's how I learned. And same thing with wrestling. I actually don't have a wrestling background, but I learned wrestling through jiu-jitsu. That's how I learned wrestling. So at a certain level, if you're a good grappler, like, you're going to be able to do most things in grappling. So if you're good at jiu-jitsu, you have some, especially if you're good on top, you're going to be able to develop some decent wrestling, some decent judo techniques. And this also works reverse too. So you see guys like Bo Nickel. I think he was a Bo Nickel. I believe he got his blue belt. Yeah, Bo Nickel, very high level wrestler. If you get some guys that are good at grappling, man, they're going to be able to do jiu-jitsu. Like a good wrestler, college, high school wrestler, is going to be pretty tough in jiu-jitsu, right? So man, at the end of the day, you got 2 arms, 2 legs, right? You can figure it out. It's going to work. Some other good guys, Jaden Cox, really good wrestler. I saw he was doing some jiu-jitsu a little bit. There's this girl, Victoria. I don't remember her last name, but she's a high-level wrestler that's done some jiu-jitsu. Might go into MMA. Yeah, man. I mean, if you have like body awareness, like, you're gonna pick up stuff. If you're good, like if you're a good gymnast, you're gonna pick up some athletic moves in other sports. There's like this general level of fitness and movement skill and body awareness that really translates over to other sports. Some things unique to jiu-jitsu is like the groundwork, the Newaza, specifically guard work, is like that is different than most sports. Like, okay, I'm gonna go on my back and use my legs. Like that's kind of strange in the realms of sports. So Hubert says, I should definitely go to more takedown classes. Yeah, it can help you. You're still young. You can still learn a lot of the movements. And something cool about judo is that it has more structure than jiu-jitsu. So wrestling and judo, because they've been around longer, they have more structure. So in judo, you have to learn, certain amount of throws. You have to know all these throws to get your black belt. And that's very structured. And in wrestling, they have, very structured learning as far as techniques and also conditioning that we don't really have in jiu-jitsu as well. And yeah, man, it's going to be super structured. So it's going to help you. And if nothing else, it's going to make you more confident on your feet. So like, say if you do a tournament or anything, you're going to be confident to go in there standing and get a takedown, or confident that you're not going to get taken down very easily. Yeah. So again, guys, we're waiting for one more person. I got like 10 more minutes, guys, trying to get one more person on this chat. But otherwise, I've been pretty happy, man. If you guys have any, how did this time work for you guys? Was this time okay? Was 10 o'clock okay? Would you guys like to see a little bit earlier, or maybe a little bit later? I'm gonna try to see what I can do as far as working with that. But I do want to do maybe one time a week at least, starting out, a live stream like this where we have the chat, the actual Zoom chat going down. I think it's a great tool for me specifically because I like interacting with you guys. I want to interact with you guys. And then, yeah, I think it'll help a lot of people. I think at the end of the day, trying to help people. That's how my YouTube channel got started. That's what my content's been geared on since I started doing this stuff. And it's the stuff that my content that does well is the content where I'm trying to help people, trying to help you, not get hurt doing a double leg or Stuff like that. Stuff that sometimes your instructors don't have time to cover. A lot of your instructors know this stuff. They just don't have time to cover this stuff. It's like, all right, I got 30 people in class and I got 1 hour to show some techniques. I'm not going to have time to talk about this one little detail, but trying to get one more person on this live. Come on, guys. One more person in the Zoom. We're trying to get one more person on. Again, I'm going live again on Friday on Instagram. Going to have Jeff Cummings, my buddy Jeff Cummings, joining us. It's going to be funny, man. I already know it's going to be funny. I'm already laughing thinking about it. And we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of going full-time jiu-jitsu, being a full-time jiu-jitsu instructor. It's going to be funny, man. It's going to be, I can't wait. Daniel says, thank you, Alec Baldwin, for your generosity, man. Thank you. Yeah. I love the support, man. You guys have been supporting me for so long. Thank you. If you're new, thanks for joining the live stream. I know when I see live streams, I'm usually like, oh, let me get out of this thing. But I do want to build it up into something special. I think, if I stay consistent for, however long I need to stay, it could be pretty cool. Louise says, I'm in California, so it's 8:25 over here. Not too bad of a time. Man, I used to live in Europe, so I had to deal with 3 time zones. I had my European time zone, and I was like, okay, gotta get the East Coast, gotta get the West Coast. So I had to time my posts so that it was it would hit at the right times where people would be up and not at, maybe they were at work, but maybe it was an afternoon where they had time to slack off, or maybe it was in the morning. It was so weird. It was so hard to kind of deal with that. So I'll try to keep this 10 o'clock time slot. I think it's like prime time. You get done with training, you're out of work. So I think we'll see how it works, guys. Huber says, how long did it take for you to go grow your dreads, and how do you deal with it on the mat? How long did it take me? I don't know. You can actually go back and look at my videos. So I think in 2018, so maybe about 3 years, you can see my hair at a low cut, and you see it kind of evolving like a Pokemon. My hair is evolving, or Super Saiyan. So yeah, maybe 3 or 4 years. How do I deal with it on the mat? I usually use a hair tie my hair back. And I haven't had any issues. Nobody's been grabbing my hair. It's not that long to where people can grab it. I somehow managed, man. I always wanted long hair. I used to have a fro, so I have so many pictures of me competing with a fro. And then I wanted to try something different. So it's been an experience. I'm glad I've tried the long hair look. I think it works. It is some work, but I've been able to use it. Or deal with it. So and I was like, man, I'm young. I still got hair. Some of these guys out here, some of these guys are using some stuff where their hair is, they losing their hair. So I was like, man, I'm gonna grow my hair. Yeah, but it's been okay so far. I'm gonna let it get a little bit longer. I think maybe shoulder level, then I'll probably cut my hair off. But it's been fun, man. I've been liking this long hair lifestyle. I got about 10 more minutes, guys. 10 more minutes. Trying to get one more person on the live chat on the Zoom link here. But if it doesn't work out, man, I've been super happy. I'm happy with how this live stream turned out. I'm happy with the support. I'm happy with the people that have gone on the Zoom with me. So it's been pretty cool. We'll try to grow it. Again, I was worried the first one. I was like, man, what if nobody comes on here, man? I'm going to be talking to myself, man. But yeah, I'm super happy. I'll try to up the production as I go. You know how I do it, man. Do a bootleg for a good bit and then slowly try to upgrade it. But it's been fun, man. I'm happy. I'm, multitasking. I'm sure I forgot to film something or record somewhere. But I've been happy with how everything's been going so far. And then I'm going to cut this video up and, post it on my social media. You know how I do it, like to repurpose my videos. And that way, if you missed the live stream today, you can watch the videos later. I think we covered some We had some good conversations that'll really help people out there with the same problems. There's a lot of people starting jiu-jitsu. That's something. When I first started training, I didn't really talk about jiu-jitsu because it was kind of weird. It was very niche. It's kind of underground. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing, karate?" People make fun of me all the time. They still kind of do, but not as much as they used to. But now they're like, "Oh, you do jiu-jitsu." There's people. I go places and people are like, "Oh, you're the jiu-jitsu guy." I have a friend or cousin that trains jiu-jitsu. Oh, that's so cool. Because like 10 years ago, man, they were like, "Oh, what's this jiu-jitsu stuff, man? What are you doing? What is that stuff, man?" So yeah, so I just never talked about it, but now it's like, man, regular people know what jiu-jitsu is. So it's kind of cool that I've been around so long to see that progression. You have all these famous people training. There's famous people out there training just like you and me. So about 5 more minutes, guys. We'll see. Or 9 more minutes, not 5 more minutes. 9 more minutes. Trying to get one more person on the live on the Zoom link, but I don't think it's gonna work out. I'll try to pump up the live stream next week, so we'll get some more good conversations for you guys. But it's been fun, man. Been fun. Super excited to talk to you guys. Hubert says the ones that don't know jiu-jitsu always bring up that one of their family members have done taekwondo. Yeah, they're like, yeah, I'm a black belt in taekwondo. Like, oh, cool, bro. I used to do taekwondo, so I like talking about it. There's a really good taekwondo fighter in one. His name's Tan. I don't know his last name, but he's fighting in one. I think he's fighting Gary Tonin, but his background is taekwondo. So I'm type it in the chat room here. He's a really good fighter. He trains jujitsu and all this other stuff, but like his his base is taekwondo. So but it is getting better, Hubert. It's getting better, man. People they kind of understand the difference between taekwondo and MMA and jiu-jitsu a little bit. My family thought it was like I was doing some ultimate fighting, some Valtudo or something, because that's what it looked like. It looked like Valtudo, and the instructors did Valtudo, so I understand why they got that from. But man, like I go around, especially I'm not sure where you're from, but are you from LA? Where are you from? I think the other guy's from LA. But if you're in California, people know what jiu-jitsu is. They know who the Gracies are. If you're in New York, DC, they know what jiu-jitsu is. I'm in Atlanta. People know what jiu-jitsu is. So it's growing, and I'm kind of excited to see in the future. I don't think jiu-jitsu will ever be super mainstream. It's not going to be like basketball or anything. But more people are being exposed to it. So we'll see. Hubert says, I've done it too, got my black belt and left. He's like, got my black belt and got out of there. But man, at least you had that experience. When I first started, cross training was super big. Cross training, that's all people would talk about. You got to cross train. And we used to do these meetups. It was called a BJJ throwdown. And then all these martial artists would come together and train together. So it was kind of cool. And I have a video somewhere of me training in we would call it a throwdown. So we had all these people from God knows where training jiu-jitsu and martial arts together. And I'm really happy to be a part of that time period where like, oh, I'm going to cross train to do taekwondo and jiu-jitsu. That's kind of, oh, you're going to do this stuff. And, now people are kind of lazy. They're like, well, I'm just doing jiu-jitsu. I don't got time for nothing else. But cross training could be you doing jujitsu and wrestling, or jujitsu and judo. It does help open your, I don't want to say your horizon, but it does give you some other tools to use when you do like other sports like that. I would say, hey, also try other more other sports, like, hey, play some basketball, mix it up, go play some soccer. And that would help your general fitness levels just doing other sports like that. It's going to build your coordination. Hubert says the stalling is the main problem in jiu-jitsu pro matches I watch. That's why at times it's not spectator friendly. Yeah, some stalling, and also it's just it's too technical. It's too technical. When you need to look and you're like, oh, this guy doing reverse jelly heave with the kiss of the dragon to crab ride. You're like, oh, that's too much technique. I think that's why sports like boxing are very popular. Basketball, like, oh, the ball goes in the hoop. I think if we want to make jiu-jitsu more popular, we got to add a ball. If somebody wants to figure that out for us, that's what we need to bring jiu-jitsu to the mainstream. Some type of ball. I don't know how the ball is going to be added to the jiu-jitsu, but you just need some type of ball action in there. But yeah, jiu-jitsu can be boring, bro. I love jiu-jitsu, and sometimes I don't be looking at the matches. I be looking over here talking to people. Like, at baseball games, you kind of do other stuff. That's how I feel at jiu-jitsu tournaments. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Oh, that was cool. Okay, that was boring. Luis Valdez says jiu-jitsu and shadow boxing. Yeah, shadow boxing, shadow wrestling, something. Hubert says I cross-train with CrossFit. Yeah. Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. Go do it. Get out there, be using your body, move around. It's going to help you for your conditioning, your muscular endurance. I believe one of the first CrossFit workouts was Fight Gone Bad, was like designed to help fighters get ready for a fight, right? So yeah, man, whatever, just do something. I think a lot of people get too caught up in doing jiu-jitsu. They get too immersed, but yeah, man, you want jiu-jitsu to be fun. So, if you ever feel, I forget who was hitting that plateau, was getting to that point where they were feeling like they weren't progressing. But man, that's a great time to start cross training. You're getting kind of burnt out on jiu-jitsu. Maybe scale back a little bit on your jiu-jitsu training and add like another sport or, another hobby, something, guys. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for me. I think, like I said, super, super happy with how this live stream turned out. Man, thank you for the support, guys. It's been fun interacting with you guys. Let's try again for next week. We'll see what day works for you guys. I don't know what your guys' schedule is. I'm not going to try to even hit your guys' schedule. But I do like this time that I scheduled this 10 p.m. time slot, East Coast time slot that we did. I think next one we probably will open up the topics for everybody to get more interaction with everybody. Luis Valdez says, thanks for hanging out and answering questions. Hubert says, play League of Legends for cross training. Yeah, man. Hey, listen. Hey, esports are sports too, right? All right, guys. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Again, we'll try for next week. I'll post beforehand to let you guys know, and I'll pick a topic that'll get more interaction with the people, with you guys. But it's been fun, man. Until next time, guys. Peace out. Peace, 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 and ciao. You guys take care. Have a great evening, and good luck in training.